War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Today we are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar, another battle, another new battle tome. So we're here kicking things off for our 2 weeks of death that we're going to have, starting off week 1 with the Soulblight Gravelords. So as you're probably really used to after the past couple of weeks, doing a doubleheader this week with the Gravelords. So a game obviously right now, and then another one later this week for our YouTube members. So if you want extra battle reports, check out our membership. Best way to support the channel as well.
Yes, sir.
And of course, have to mention that Dames Workshop did send us an advanced copy of the battle tome so that we could film these games, debut it in advance, or debut it right away, get the battle reports out. So thank you to Games Workshop, and full disclosure that they sent us this. But otherwise, we can jump right into things. The mission we're playing today is Prize of Gallet.
Classic.
Yep, so we got 5 objectives on the table: hold 1, hold 2, hold more scoring. And the twist to this one is none of these objectives are activated yet. The player who goes second to each battle round gets to choose one of the objectives and activate it.
Yep.
And obviously that's very impactful, but we'll see how it plays out. But otherwise, Ridge, do you want to jump in and take us through your list?
Yes, so I'm playing Soulblight again. This is like, I haven't played very many games, but I usually play Castelli. So this, I'm reading through the book, I'm playing Legion of Blood. So pretty cool. They got some actual different heroic actions, and yeah, hopefully we're going to see them through the game. So I'm running the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon as my general. He's got a command trait that allows me to pick D3 units, and then I choose to hit them if I'm within 3 of you with him. So a lot of his things hit on 4, so I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the 3. And then he's got the artifact. It's pretty much like the old Ethereal Amulet, just makes it you can't plus or minus his save.
Nice.
So he's 3 up save base, so just always at a 3.
That's nice, yeah.
Awesome against things that do rend, like just, and he's got a lot of wounds, so it could be good with that. And it just reminds you of having those monsters with
gosh, I don't miss that.
Ethereal Amulet.
Caleb, if you're watching this, you know, that did me dirty.
Yeah. And then we got a Vangorian Lord, and then a White King, who's actually awesome with the Graveguard, and he's got a new cool ability. And then the Necromancer, and the Necromancer has the Arcane Tome.
Cool.
So everything I have, and then I got a unit of 10 skeletons, 10 skeletons, 20 skeletons. There's a lot more recursion in the book, and you know we'll probably see that as the game goes on. And then a Terrorgeist, because he actually now kind of works with monsters.
Cool. The
Vangorian Lord, yeah. He's got some little things that might come up, who knows. And then 20 Graveguard. So yeah, wanted to kind of go with the recursion-y kind of stuff with the skeletons, everything. I am only 1950 as well. So, and then I was a 4-drop, so I did the Command Entourage and Battle Regiment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you did outdrop me here, but jumping into my list, playing Slaves to Darkness, going for Legion of the First Prince here. I don't think we've played it since the new Battle Tome.
Yeah, I don't know.
But bringing out the namesake, Be'lakor, obviously the big boy, and a couple other heroes. So in addition to Be'lakor, I have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, because they're just too good not to take. I have the Chaos Lord on Karkadrak, and then I have an Exalted Hero of Chaos. Then for units, I have 2 units of 5 Knights. They're in Khorne as well as the Karkadrak. I have a unit of Untamed Beasts. I have a unit of Corvus Cabal off the board deep striking, and then I have a unit of 10 Chosen who are undivided, because some sweet tricks obviously in this sub-faction with that.
Good in this one, yeah.
Yep. And then I also have a Mindstealer Spear Ranks. We just haven't had it out since I painted it up. Yeah, not as good obviously as it used to be, but it's cool, it's cheap, it can jump on an objective. Actually has okay damage output.
Yeah, and it moves quick, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, that's it for me. And then I had everything wrapped up in a Warlord and a Battle Regiment, so was 5 drops to your 4.
Yeah.
Giving you choice here, again, so super impactful on this mission.
That's just kind of interesting as well, like Warlord or Battle or Command Entourage.
That's a risk, right?
A lot of this stuff doesn't use CP anymore, so I just went with the Command Entourage.
Yeah.
But usually you want that CP.
Yep.
Yeah, in this one it's obviously great, so I'm going to clearly give you turn because I'll be able to activate and
good.
start at the bottom. So
for sure. We'll jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1.
Sounds good.
The Gravelords activate the Eastern Objective, and the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is Cunning Maneuver. The Untamed Beasts make a pre-game move, and the Chaos Chosen are selected as the target of doomed minions. The Chosen gains Slaughterer's Strength, the Exalted Hero is granted Arcane Awakening, and the Chaos Lord earns the Aura of Chaos. So many buffs. The Sorcerer Lord uses Draw on Power, and the Vangorian Lord uses Heroic Leadership. The Chosen are granted the Mark of Nurgle with Favor of the Four. The Sorcerer Lord uses Oracular Visions and casts Chaotic Conduit on the Chosen, granting them unearthly reflexes. The Exalted Hero casts Mystic Shield on the Chosen, and Be'lakor casts Arcane Bolt. The Exalted Hero uses at the double. The Corvus Cabal deep strikes into the battlefield. Granted power from the Dark Gods, the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
Well, Slaves to Darkness turn was pretty reserved, but extremely exciting at the start. Rolled all my abilities for all my, I had the God stuff, so I have the general trait, so my Tartadrat could do it.
It's an
roll at the start.
one.
He rolled the 5-up ward, so he's nice and juicy now. The Exalted became a wizard, so that was another good one. Used the reroll on that one, so they rolled a 1. And then my Chosen, I got I rolled a 6 because they roll 2 dice because of the Undivided Banner. So I got 6 on one of them, so the +1 rend. And then I cast Chaotic Conduit on them. Rolled it with them again, obviously, and got +1 to charge. So the 2 main buffs you want, I have them both right now. And then I used the Undivided self-action ability to make my or the Legion of the First Prince sub-faction ability to make my Undivided Chosen Mark of Nurgle in addition.
So
they're -1 to wound.
Stay away from these guys.
Yeah, with Ridge, targeted them as like kind of the main unit to kill with your general trait. So you'll be you'll hit them pretty easily, but hopefully this will make them a little survivable. I also got the Mystic Shield on, thankfully from the Exalted.
How much stuff can you put on one unit of Chosen in the game?
The only thing, I could have done Demonic Power instead of the buff, but I figured this is the time to like get the buffs up because you can avoid them or they're not necessarily getting in anyways, right? So maybe later in the game I'll want to get Chaotic Conduit or do Demonic Power instead of Chaotic Conduit.
And your Grand Strat, this is a very good build for the one trolling for the Grand Strat.
I'm trying for it.
You haven't got it yet, but
no, haven't got it. Been close.
Say you will definitely get
I should at some point, so fingers crossed. But we'll see. And that's it for Slave's turn, so we'll jump into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 1.
Let's do it.
Unimpressed by the pageantry of their foe, the Soulblight battle tactic is Cunning Maneuver. The Vangorian Lord and Chaos Lord both fail Heroic Leadership. The White King uses Lord of Shambling Bones on the 20 skeletons. The Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon casts Curse of Exsanguination, dealing 1 mortal wound to the Untamed Beasts. The Vangorian Lord casts Soul Spike on the Chosen, and the Necromancer casts Mystic Shield on Terrorgeist. The 20 skeletons use at the double. The Corvus Cabal redeploy, moving 3 inches. Enjoying our battle reports? Join our YouTube membership to support the channel and get an extra match every week. Ten skeletons deep strike into the battlefield. The Terrorgeist used forward to victory, but fails his charge. Taking an advantageous position, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
Alrighty, so back from Soulblight turn 1. Couple things I was thinking about. I just went for the cunning maneuver as well.
Yep.
And then just drop down everything onto this point, try to kind of reinforce it because it's the only active one right now. And I think we're both kind of, this one's always interesting because it's then turn 2, are you giving it away and keep activating your home? Like we're both kind of like, or are you going to take the turn and do damage? So we're both kind of fortified. Yeah, nothing really else. I got my Mystic Shield off. I got a Soul Pike off, which is if you charge me, whatever your charge roll is, 4 up, you'll take 4 up mortals, like the ogre charge kind of on yourself. So that's cool. The Necromancer has amazing spells with just nothing really in range for turn 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely some good spells and successful casting, but very tame game, no damage yet. I just, you did 1 mortal wound with your spell.
Yeah, and then I failed the 3-up. It's like, you keep rolling with the 3-ups.
Yeah.
It's fun then when death has stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we are into the turn 2 priority.
Yep. Rolling the old Du Bois dice.
That's a 4.
Oh.
Ridge is 3. Looks like Ridge is getting the turn. Notable, giving the turn away.
Yes.
That's a thing. Who knew?
Apparently.
Yeah. Learned it here first, but we'll jump into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 2.
Sounds good.
The Slaves to Darkness activate the southern objective, and the Soulblight battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Vangorian Lord uses Immortal Majesty, and the Karkadrak uses Heroic Leadership. The White King uses Shambling Bones on the skeletons. The Vangorian Lord casts Cursed Reflection on the Terrorgeist, then the Vampire Lord has Soul Spike Unbound. The Necromancer casts Mystic Shield on the Vangorian Lord, but fails Waste Away. The Corvus Cabal redeploys, moving 3 inches. The Vampire Lord's Pestilential Breath deals 3 damage to the Chosen. The Terrorgeist's Shriek kills 3 Corvus Cabal. The Skeletons deal 4 damage to the Untamed Beasts and 2 to the Corvus Cabal. Attacking next, the Untamed Beasts kill 2 Skeletons. The other Skeletons deal 3 damage to the Untamed Beasts. Lastly, the Corvus Cabal deal 4 damage to the Skeletons. The Untamed Beasts and 1 Corvus Cabal flee to Battle Shock. Claiming center ground with their hordes of skeletons, the Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 3 points.
All right, so back from my turn 1 or turn 2. kind of just positioning, obviously keeping my point here. There's nothing I can do to take your point. I just wanted to kind of kill the screens. The Terror guys absolutely flubbed. I rolled a 3. You just redeployed out to kind of block that off.
Yeah.
I wanted to obviously get at the Knights. There was nothing really I could do, because even if I moved the Skellies first, you would have waited, and then as soon as I moved the Terror guys, you would redeploy the Corvus Cabal, just to kind of block that off. So yeah, I just was hoping he would at least be able to clear them off, because then if I got them both in, I could have maybe put more skeletons into this unit, killed more of that unit, then the Terror guys could have piled in and hit the Knights, possibly. But none of that happened. He rolled a 3 for his charge, so
yes,
you just can't do anything about that.
Rough.
So other than that, I'm just kind of now getting my skeletons in here because I want them to die.
Clogging up the board well.
Yeah, I'm clogging up the board, and I want them to die because there's tactics for that. There's ways I can bring stuff back. It's completely changed now.
You're happy to sacrifice them.
Exactly. I don't care if they die. So yeah, that's... And my hammers are kind of still safe. We'll see.
They are well enough. Like, hard to get in there.
I can obviously redeploy here as well, but the Terrorgeist might be, he might be in some danger, but who knows?
Yep, we'll see. And just otherwise, because you couldn't obviously take my home objective, that's why you give away the turn in this mission.
Yeah.
But just 3 points.
Yep.
We'll jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 2.
Sounds good.
Eager to finally engage their foe, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is run them down. The Sorcerer Lord uses Draw on Power, and the Vampire Lord uses Heroic Leadership. The Chosen rally, returning 1 model. Of course they do. The Chosen are granted the Mark of Nurgle with Favor of the 4. Sorcerer Lord casts Demonic Power on the Knights, and the Exalted Hero fails Mystic Shield. Bellicor casts Enfeeble Foe on the Vampire Lord, but has Arcane Bolt Unbound. The skeletons redeploy, moving 2 inches. The Chaos Lord on Karkadrak deals 2 mortals to the Terrorgeist on impact. Bellicor stomps the skeletons, and Terrorgeist stomps the Knights. The Chaos Lord fights at the start of the phase, but deals just 1 wound to the Terrorgeist. Activating immediately, the Chaos Knights finish off the Terrorgeist. The second unit of Knights use all-out attack and take out the 20 skeletons. The skeletons deal 4 damage to the Mindstealer Sphinx. Bellicor deals 7 damage to the skeletons. The Mindstealer deals 3 damage to finish off the skeletons. The Exalted Hero is granted Slaughterer Strength, and the Chosen gain Unholy Resilience. Pushing back their enemy, the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 3 points.
Slaves to Darkness, turn 2. I can't really complain about it. Everything went as I expected and hoped.
Yeah.
Enough damage output to do everything I wanted. Clear your 2 units of skeletons to kind of both clog up and take control of the center of the board.
Yeah.
Keeping the Chosen in behind, I wanted to do it with the Knights, so I kept them safe. They're obviously
Have to do anything with them. The Knights just still Corn Knights on the charge.
Even just 5. Well, we saw how much work my 2 units. 1 unit lifted 20 skeletons. The other unit lifted the Terrorgeist. Because the Carter draft didn't help there.
No.
Besides making them fight first.
Yeah, which then allowed you to activate both places.
Yes, which is notable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Really good.
Yeah. As we said, though, Chosen didn't have to do much. The Bellicor Actually, Bellator finished or did 7 damage to one unit. The Kitty Cat finished it off.
Yeah.
So I'm in I feel like a decent position.
Sure.
Now's the time where it's like, okay, this is what you give away the turn,
Give it
potentially
away.
hope for the opportunity to get the double later.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's 1 to 2,
spot.
2 to 3,
Yep.
3 to 4. It's always right. It's still super good. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But we are going to jump into a priority for round 3. That's a 5.
That's a 4. I thought you had a 3.
And, well, you're always tempted to give away the turn again on this mission. It's so impactful. I think now is just the time to go and get the damage.
Everything's out of combat later.
With Bellator's ability and like my buffs and debuffs I have up, it wouldn't have been the worst to lose the prio, but let's try and take advantage and see if we can't kill some vampires.
I think you can.
We'll jump into Slaves of Darkness, turn 3.
Sounds good.
With momentum on their side, the Slaves of Darkness battle tactic is lust for power. The Chaos Lord pledges to the Dark Gods, and the Vangorian Lord uses their finest hour. The Sorcerer Lord grants oracular visions to the Knights, but fails demonic power. The Exalted Hero has Mystic Shield Unbound, and the Chosen are granted the Mark of Khorne with Favor of the Four. Bellator casts Enfeeble Foe on the Vampire Lord, but fails Binding Damnation. The skeletons redeploy, moving 6 inches. Ten skeletons are returned with Endless Legions. Outside of 3 inches? That's pretty good. The Chaos Lord uses Forward to Victory and makes his charge. The Vampire Lord roars the Chosen. Fighting first, the Chaos Lord on Karkadrak kills the White King. The Chaos Knights fight next and take down 16 skeletons. The Chosen attack and deal 12 damage to the Vampire Lord. The Vampire Lord fights back, dealing 8 damage to the Chosen and healing 6 wounds. The other Chaos Knights finish off the skeletons and deal 2 damage to the Vangorian Lord. The Vangorian Lord deals 11 damage to the Knights and heals 2 wounds from the hunger. Using Herald of Ruination, the Chosen fight again, dealing 6 damage to the Vampire Lord. The Knights use Inspiring Presence, and the Chaos Lord gains Slaughterer's Strength and Arcane Awakening. Rewarded for bringing glory to their gods, the Slaves of Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Well, it was a good turn, not a great turn. I got my battle tactic. My Chaos Lord on Tartarak had the option to ascend to Demonhood, but he decided just to get extra rend.
Assist out.
But they also became a wizard, so he's just loving life as a Khorne wizard.
Everything.
Yeah, with 5 aboard,
Can he
plus 1 rend.
Get that? With
Oh,
the
no,
Khorne,
I
the
guess-
Khorne keyword, he can't get that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll choose, I guess,
I think it says if you can't be, you just go to the next
yes,
one.
something like that. So I'll double check after.
You'll see somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, action-packed turn.
Yeah.
Big thing was obviously trying to deal with your Vampire Lord. I got Enfeeble Foe off it, not fight last.
Yeah.
And my chosen, the big thing here is I went for the 3d6 for
Eye of the
Eye of the Gods, roll
Yeah.
3d6, because I realized like without this Sorcerer Lord being undivided marked, I can't do the double heroic action thing on him,
Yeah.
which is the most reliable way to get my grand strategy.
And this got it for you.
And I figured I would have 2 opportunities this turn for him to ascend.
Yeah.
I did get the 2, rolled the 11 on one of them, thankfully. I do get the extra dice
Yeah.
because of the heroic action, so that worked out. And it was the 3rd dice that rolled the 5 to make it all possible.
Yeah.
So
and even all of that was, I rolled a 6 redeploy here.
Yeah.
So Jordan needed a 7-inch charge, rolled
Yeah.
a 5 and
Into
got
an 8 after
But even that,
yeah.
if you rolled a 6,
Yeah.
like-
Hey, Ridge, only one of us fails charges lately.
I know, it's
not
my
me.
new thing apparently.
I did, though, give up, obviously, the 3d6 casting, which meant I didn't get demonic power off,
Yeah.
which was huge. Your Vandorian Lord, I dealt, like, 18
can't-
damage to him, but he healed 10
I can't believe
or
he
8.
didn't die. So
Yeah.
I spiked the 3 up. The old ethereal was huge, so I made a lot of 3s.
Both rounds you spiked it pretty
Yeah,
big.
and then I did some,
Yeah,
enough
but-
damage back to heal him back to 10 life, and you can only do up to 6, it says
Yeah.
on there. But then, yeah, you
From
did.
the 100, he
and
healed
then you
6.
did those 6 back.
So I did 12, you healed 6.
You still
and
got
then
4
I did,
left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did a bunch more. So yeah, he's still alive and kicking. So not ideal there, but I do take the objective and get, obviously, hold 1, hold more,
Yeah.
hold 2, hold more also. So good turn overall.
Yep.
The board looks a lot more empty for you, but thankful, yeah, I'm sure you are, that you guys still have the big guy.
Yes. And I still can bring things back.
Yep.
I have 20 grave guards still,
Yep.
and both of my heroes. So I was like,
Yep.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that.
Yep.
Got lucky with the kind of spike in those. And the Vangalord was +2 save and lessens Ren by 1. So he's just still so tanky.
Yep.
Even without the Castellai artifact.
For sure.
Still so
Lots of game left.
Yeah.
And that'll just send us into a Soulblight Gravelords turn 3.
Let's do it.
As vengeance burns in their unbeating hearts, the Soulblight battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Vampire Lord uses their finest hour, and the Chaos Lord uses heroic leadership. Be'lakor uses the Dark Master on the Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon. Defying Be'lakor, the Vampire Lord attempts Curse of Exsanguination, but fails. The Necromancer has Waste Away Unbound and fails Grinding Teeth of Gallet. Lastly, the Vangorian Lord has Mystic Shield Unbound. The Exalted Hero redeploys, moving 5 inches. Five skeletons are returned using Endless Legions. Continuing to defy Be'lakor, the Vampire Lord's Pestilential Breath finishes off the knights. The Vampire Lord roars the Chosen, and the Vangorian Lord stomps the knights. The Grave Guard deals 16 damage to the Chosen and 2 to the Exalted Hero. The Chaos Lord deals 6 damage to the Vangorian Lord. The Vangorian Lord fights the Knights, dealing 4 damage and healing the same amount. The Exalted Hero deals 4 damage to the Grave Guard. The Chosen deal no damage to the Vampire Lord, then flee to Battle Shock. Illustrating the inevitability of death, the Grave Lords complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Alrighty, so back from Soulblight turn 3. Pretty productive little tricksies going on here.
Yeah, good turn.
Yeah, a couple little things. So you failed the Be'lakor ability, which you have to always take into account in this game. So you failed it in the charge phase.
And magic.
And in the magic phase.
And the shooting phase.
Did you, in the shooting phase?
Yeah, just
the shooting is the big one.
Yeah.
Did you fail the magic one too?
Yep, but you failed your spell.
Oh, so that didn't matter. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so I was able to roar. The other big one is I was able to roar in that phase on them, and then as well I was able just D6 attacked with his breath. It's actually sweet now. So I rolled 5 attacks, like whatever got one through, killed off him for the eye for an eye.
Yep.
And then everything else was kind of just like getting as big of a charge as I could and killing as many chosen as I was able to. So being able to do all that attack and then roaring you with him was big. So I killed, I think, 6 of 8 chosen.
Yeah.
And
I was torn even before that with Be'lakor. Obviously, the Vampire Lord, living in general was just hugely bad.
Yes, absolutely.
But the damage output of the Graveguard was more threatening than the Vampire Lord, especially with the -1 on him.
Yeah.
The reason I went for the Vampire Lord is because I didn't want to let him heal up on the Graveguard, on the Chosen. So let's say he kills 6 he's
more.
now nearly unkillable again, right? I don't have anything left on the board to get him down. So this keeps him limping.
Yes, and I did best day ever on him in my turn as well, which made Jordan probably even more of an incentive to shut him down, right? Because then I'm +1 to wound as well.
Exactly, so it brings you back where you're hitting well. So
for sure I'm going to heal
for both, like either way, the Chosen were at risk, but at least this way you're not healing as well from the hunger.
Exactly. Yeah, so whatever, and then I just made a nice play because it's just outside of 3 when you're summoning. So I was able to get them wholly within 12 and outside of 3, so was able to take the point. The Vangalords just, with that lessen Ren by 1 and all at defense, like, it's just so strong. Yeah,
and then even healing back wounds. Like,
you did.
He should be on 3 health left, but now he's only 3 damage taken.
Yeah, because the damage, and he has a bit of a glow up, so he does a little bit more damage. That D6 damage is now 3 damage, and I think it's 1 more attack. So yeah, he's a little bit stronger. Really wanted to get the waste away off on him. Yeah. So incredibly good. It's minus his damage by 1 and -1 to wound. Yeah. -1 to wound and -1 damage.
Wouldn't have mattered here, so the Chosen didn't do anything, but still a really good debuff.
Now they're not doing anything at all. Maybe I would have went over and piloted and went over that way, but rolled the 6 and unbound it. But so then we're into a priority this game's been awesome.
So
it's going to be
I can't use a Stormcast dice.
It's either Patap or Fiction. Those are the ones I get good. All right, I'm going Fiction.
5.
No!
We're going into Slaves to Darkness, turn 5, 4.
All right, let's see.
Delayed in the pursuit of their ambition, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Exalted Hero strikes at the opening, killing 5 Graveguard, and the Vampire Lord heroically recovers 3 wounds. Be'lakor casts Binding Damnation on the Vampire Lord, but miscasts Enfeeble Foe, taking 2 mortals. The Sorcerer Lord has Demonic Power unbound, and the Exalted Hero has Grinding Teeth of Gallet unbound. Be'lakor roars the Graveguard. The Vangoran Lord stomps the Knights, dealing 3 mortals. The Mind Stealer deals 4 damage to the Graveguard. The Vangoran Lord deals 6 damage to the Knights and 2 to the Cabal. Be'lakor heroically finishes off the Vampire Lord and deals 2 damage to the Graveguard. The Graveguard deal no damage to the Exalted Hero. The Exalted Hero fights back and kills 2 Graveguard. The Chaos Knights deal no damage. The Graveguard use Inspiring Presence. Reveling in power, the exalted hero is granted the aura of chaos. Emboldened by their Dark Prince's triumph, the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
Slaves to Darkness, Legion of the First Prince, turn 4.
Garbage turn.
Awesome. Bellator coming up big. We always talked about how much he can whiff sometimes.
He never does anything ever.
Here, he did exactly what he needed to.
Yeah.
And that was stab the Vampire Lord finally. You heroically recovered 3 wounds back, which is like, okay, that makes it twice as hard.
Back to 7.
To finish him off.
Yes.
You were kind of inviting me in when you realized I was going to try and pile it with Bellator. You actually opened up the door.
I clearly did. I was going to pull from this side, and then I'm like...
You're like, I'm on a 3-up ethereal. You're going to fail 1 or 2 saves, and you'll still be alive, I assume.
And the 6-up board. There's no way you should have died there.
No way. It was like a 30% chance, but we went for it. We went for it.
I failed 4 of 5 3-up unrendables, so it was 8 damage.
Yeah, pretty good. Did enough. What else? Graveguard are still kicking around, so they only had 3 left, but you did inspire them because you can bring more back, and then you'll have them in combat and disable it. Yeah.
I figured I'd do that instead of letting them die and then try to bring something back. I did forget to do my skeleton, the 5, but I think it's better to guaranteed have 7 than on a 3-up have 10.
That also can't charge.
That can't charge and do stuff.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how things pan out.
Yeah.
I do take the center objective, but being that you hold this one, in hindsight, could have retreated out and just held the point, but then you would have been on the charge as well. So
yeah.
Not sure there, and I went from being behind on the board to kind of being a little bit ahead on the table.
Just because of that zombie dragon.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have died 2 turns ago. So
I did spike the ones before, like I was saying to Jordan, so it's like, of course,
it was averaging out.
Fail all the 3-ups there.
But that's about it. Even the cat came in and helped out. He's been decent for 95 points.
Yeah.
Not that he's got his ability off, but that's basically just where we're at, and we'll head into Soulblight Gravelords turn 4.
Yep.
Relentlessly enacting Nagash's will, the Soulblight battle tactic is expand the Grave Empires. The Vangorian Lord uses heroic leadership, and the exalted hero strikes at the opening and kills 2 Graveguard. The Necromancer miscasts Mystic Shield, and the Vangorian Lord has Arcane Bolt unbound. The Necromancer uses out the double. Unwilling to back down, the Soulblight Gravelords complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Okay, so back from my turn, miscast and failed my summon. That's the
and had Arcane Bolt unbound.
Really wanted the Arcane Bolt just to finish off this one night.
Yep.
Freeing up the Vangolord, could have went in, did some actual damage and did some things. I thought about doing Dance Macabre or like fighting with these guys, but if they die, not nearly in good of a spot. My tactic actually was have a summonable or vampire unit within 2 or more points outside of my objectives that I can test, which I'm doing right now.
Yep.
Although there are so many little models.
Pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Like in the grand scheme.
Uninteractive, another one like yours, uninteractive one that I know I'm going to get if I don't make any little mistakes, which I didn't.
Yep.
I would have loved to have just 5 skeletons here or 5 skeletons back there. Don't need it for hold more here, but still would have been huge.
Yep, you'll get 5 points, which puts you up 1 right now.
But the priority, you still have a lot of damage, and I also have damage. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. It is going to be an important one.
All right, party at the all points, baby. Whenever I need one, I always go to it.
All right, we'll have a little party.
Oh, okay. Which one's yours gonna be?
6.
And of course, he rolls the 6. 5.
Look at that. Beat you by 1 every prio, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to go into a Slaves to Darkness turn 5.
Boo.
Needing to make the decisive blow, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is United Offense. The Chaos Lord uses their finest hour, and the Vangorian Lord uses Immortal Majesty. The Knights rally but return no models, while the Graveguard return 3. The Sorcerer Lord casts Demonic Power on the Exalted Hero, who in turn casts Grinding Teeth of Gallet and deals 5 mortals to the Necromancer. Bellicor casts Arcane Bolt, then Enfeeble Foe on the Vangorian Lord. Five skeletons return to the battle with Endless Legions. The Chaos Lord deals 2 mortals to the Vangorian Lord on impact. Bellicor roars the Vangorian Lord, who fails his own roar. In the defining moments of the battle, the Chaos Lord attacks and takes down the Vangorian Lord. Activating immediately, the last knight kills 4 Graveguard. Fighting next, Bellicor deals just 1 damage. The Graveguard fight back but deal no damage. The Exalted Hero finishes off the Graveguard, then he and the Chaos Lord both gain Unearthly Reflexes. 'Cause you don't have enough buffs yet? Exalting in the favor of the gods, the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Slaves turn 5. I knew I wasn't going to be able to completely zone you out from summoning and whatnot, and it's going to come down to your turn what the final result of the game.
Yes.
But I went in and just tried to kill everything so that it's harder for you to take objectives back. You're now depending on your summon to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because even if I had left Graveyard, you could have potentially brought some back and then just retreated out and took your objective. Mm-hmm. So, got all that, actually got a cheeky Grinding Teeth of Gallet off and
killed the
Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I actually was trying to I don't know. I was trying to leave your Graveguard alive so you couldn't bring them back, but you never know. It's retreating them out. You could have potentially still had 5 models, right? Even if you only had 1 survive.
Yeah.
And taking that objective, so.
From graveyards. Yeah. Exactly. So it ended up being that way, and as well, because I rolled the 4 up, brought 5 back, which also gets my grand strategy, because it's having 3 summonable units. Yeah. So now it's super, we've already looked into everything, kind of what I can do here.
In hindsight, I could have gone into the sent the Chaos Knight into these skeletons.
And he went off, killed.
And he could have cleared them up and activated first if I put the cartridge rack back here, but I wanted the cartridge rack on the objective.
And make sure you kill the Graveguard.
To make sure I get 4 bodies on there.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't need him in hindsight, but I think that was
so he went off insane too to kill the Vangorian.
Actually, he killed the Vangorian Lord, so he would get Eye of the Gods again, and I think that's just a heal. He didn't reroll once. That's something silly, but...
Yeah. The Vango went down pretty quickly without...
A 6-up ward on top of his 5-up now.
Yeah.
But yes.
Without any of the other stuff. Especially with the roar, too.
Yeah, no all-out defense.
This guy's got +1 Dolls Ren, so he actually does tons of damage with Best Day Ever and all-out attack.
Yeah, he was on fire.
Killed him pretty easily.
So all those things had some different options, and I'll get 3 objectives. You deny me this one by bringing them back.
Yeah.
Which is just big for you being able to score. But I'll get my points, and it's going into bottom of the turn, or bottom of the game, turn 5 for Soulblight.
Yeah, so we've already pretty much looked at everything I can do, so I can either do Callous Overlord and hope that this unit dies, but then I won't get the point. So because I hold these 2, I can bring back those 10 Graveguard, either here or there, on a 3-up, because it's my turn. Yep. But you can't charge anymore when you bring back units, because it's at the end of the movement phase. So I would need, the only thing that I have is gaining momentum, so I would need to kill a unit. Very low chance I'm going to kill the cat, because he's got 6 ones up. That Knight with the single wound is the only thing I might possibly be able to kill. So I'm just going to go for that. Yep. So go for gaining momentum. Stay outside 9 so you can't redeploy, obviously, and... A cheeky rally, obviously, to try and deny it, because this would show it down. Yeah. That's 1/6. Okay. Because, oh yeah, I would have to pick that anyway.
Yeah, you would have to declare it, so.
Yeah. Okay, so Jordan said no fun to anything, so I can't make it. I'm going to roll it anyways to see if I would have made the charge.
No, that's a 4.
Fat 4.
Reroll it into...
No.
No.
Wouldn't have mattered.
No. So...
And then the Graveguard, I would not
bring it back anyways. So in here you would get
just score
2 points.
Still have the Grand Strat, but yeah.
Yeah, get your Grand Strat. I would also get mine.
Yeah.
I would end up at the end of the game, I think, just up 2 points. So real close one
You're
here.
just super close, yeah.
Yeah, a lot for a battle tome debut. It's been the closest one of the last few battle tomes.
Yeah, so maybe Soulblight isn't as strong as the other two. I don't know.
I mean, it's never been a super impressive army, right? Like,
yeah,
there's some hard hitting pieces, but it's a more of a control.
For sure, and that's a major deduction that I'm not serious at all. Because, and clearly look at this, like even though it wasn't a crazy optimized list, Knights with the Kark, 10 Chosen, Bellacorps returning, very good list still. Like it's still, slaves are very, very strong.
Yep.
So to be able to like have this good of a game.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah.
We saw the strengths of the not ethereal amulet, which is super annoying.
Yeah, so good.
On a 3-up save thing, ethereal, right? Yeah. Bellacorps is so jealous of that.
You can just spike so much stuff. Like, yeah, I know, having just the 3s instead of 4s.
Compounded with a better hunger ability to heal now as they fight.
That's
it's way
one of
better.
the biggest things I would say. Yeah. Is the hunger being every wound you do, max 6, and still every wound you do you can heal back in between like combats. Like the Vango did it a bunch, he did it. Was like just crazy. Yeah, just the one play too, like I just didn't need to do that where I baited Bellacorps into coming in and fighting me. It's like there's a very high chance that he comes in, doesn't do it, and then I can hit you back. Yeah. But if I didn't do that, I would have had the Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon still in my turn. And it's definitely not worth the risk, but I was just like one of those moments where I'm like, screw it, like I'll just do it and we'll see what happens.
Well, you go for the big plays now and then and try and have some fun.
Just more fun.
Yeah. What else? Self-action was cool, getting lots of extra attacks.
I didn't utilize it too much. The one I did, the heroic action of within 12 making you use more CP was cool. But the one turning off wards in some matchups is super good. Even here it could have been good if I had a good opportunity because you got 5 ward on the lot. But again, like it's similar to the one item, the new Corn book that we were demoing. You know, you play Nurgle, you play Nighthaunt that has Discorporate, you play any of these things with ward saves, like it's so strong.
Yeah.
So I think the Legion of Blood, was good. And again, the unrendable, like the ethereal amulet or whatever it's called. I have it right here and I keep calling it other things. The Cloak of Mist and Shadows.
Yeah, nice.
Having that is, just amazing. Especially against things that do lots of rend.
Yeah.
You feel like Nighthaunt.
And I ended up with quite a bit of rend in this army with some stacking buffs.
Yeah.
What else? I think the Endless Legions is huge. Not a huge change, notable change though. Yeah. Now it's at the end of the movement that you bring a unit back. It's more reliable.
Yes.
And
especially on your turn.
You do it outside of 3 inches.
And that's the second thing I was going to say. That's the most important, like the biggest changes that
I saw here. It was huge here for taking objectives.
Yes. Constantly, you're just thinking about Holy 12, your heroes, your grave sites. The only thing is you can't charge now. So like these last plays at the end that you sometimes could.
You want those 10
graveyard. You could
get
lucky. Bring those 10 graveyard back. Kill that cat. Like. If they get in, if I roll the 9, they're rollable.
But I think the 3 is more reliable
during the game for sure. I would say
sliding those objectives, like
the play here. Yeah, they could bring the 5 there, and then I just barely took the point.
Otherwise, that would have been dependent on a 9-inch charge. Right?
Yeah,
and even same with that one.
Yeah, which is
so those are huge differences
for sure.
Yeah, really neat. Cool to see the Soulblight and.
There's a lot of other builds, I think.
Yeah, it'll be fun to explore. We obviously not a lot of Blood Knights that we can pop out at some points.
Yeah, the Castellite stuff looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Need to get some other stuff, but that's as that with everything.
yes, always more to do.
Yep.
But I think that about wraps it up. Bellacorps, I think, had his best showing maybe ever by actually doing damage.
Killing
also,
stuff.
On top of on top of using his ability.
Yeah.
So
he's always
He's always solid.
He's always like mediocre.
Yeah.
Here he was a little bit better than he normally is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that about wraps it up for us. So guys, hope you enjoyed that battle report. Don't forget we have another one coming out later this week for our YouTube members. So if you want to see another Soulblight game, I'm sure we'll have the Blood Knights out. So check out the membership if you want to help support the channel. Get that. No matter what though, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys soon in another battle report.
Have a good week, everyone.